Hello and welcome to the Mutual Fund Guide. It's all about your funds and your returns. I'm Muralidhar Swaminathan. Joining me on the show today is Nisreen Mamaji, founder, Moneyworks Financial Advisors. Welcome to the show, Nisreen. Nice to have you again on the show answering queries of all our fund investors. We've been getting a number of queries over the last 2 months, especially after the markets corrected. Balance funds went out of flavor because dividend option was not a good option, and investors now want steady returns over a period of time. On that note, let me go straight to the first caller. Manohar is on the line from Chennai. Good afternoon, Manohar. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Please go ahead with your question.
Sir, congratulations to BTVI.
Thank you.
On completing 2 years of excellent service.
Thank you.
We like programs such as Mfguide, Market Guru, Portfolio, lot chart-based, income tax related program. It's excellent.
Thank you so much. Your wishes as viewers, that's very important. Your support and cooperation helps us reach there. Continue with the question.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to invest 1 lakh in a tax saving fund, which will perform better in next 3 years. Can you suggest 2 such good funds?
Okay.
My next query is,
tax
saving funds, none of them beat other large cap or mid cap funds in 1 year, 3 year, 5 year category. However, our fund is committed to this mutual fund for 3 years.
Okay.
Why the fund manager not making use of these opportunities and take tax saving funds as the evergreen funds? I would like to know on these 2 queries.
Okay. Good question. First, he wants to invest 1 lakh, and secondly, why can't tax saving funds be made evergreen? Why only 3 years?
So typically, an equity-linked savings scheme is an open-ended mutual fund scheme that will not only help you to save the tax, but would also give you an opportunity to grow your money. So it solves a dual purpose. Now, typically, the tax exemptions are under Section 80C, and compared to other products which qualify for the same 80C benefits, I would think that ELSS would be a recommended option because it would have the advantages. PPF has a 15-year lock-in, while ELSS will give you a 3-year lock-in. Also, a bank 5-year deposit would give you returns which will be taxable as per your tax bracket in excess of 10,000 rupees interest. While ELSS option, the capital gains would be taxed at the rate of 8% for long-term purposes. Now, when you're gauging an equity-linked savings scheme, when you're comparing with other funds, I do understand that you have mentioned that you've seen the 3-year, 5-year returns as well. But typically, what happens is in a closed-ended scheme, the calls that the fund manager takes would be different from an open-ended mutual fund. If you stay invested in an equity-linked savings scheme, it would, definitely over a longer period of time, you would make the returns that you desire. A few options that I would recommend are the ABSL Tax Relief 96, Access Long-Term Equity Fund, the DSP Tax Saver, and ICICI Prudential long-term equity, and the Invesco India Tax Plan. I think any of these options would give you good returns.
All right. Let's go to Hubli from Chennai. Madhavesh Gudi is from Hubli, sent us this mail. He's 43 years and currently investing through SIP, 10,000 rupees in Motilal Oswal Multicap 35 Fund, 7,000 in Aditya Birla Sun Life Tax Relief, 4,000 in HDFC Midcap Opportunities Fund, and 2,000 each in HDFC Equity Fund and ICICI Pru Multi-Asset Fund. He wants to accumulate 20 lakhs for his children's education over 5 years, 20 lakhs for his daughter's marriage after 10 years, and 1 crore for his retirement. Very detailed planning.
Sure. So let me congratulate you, Madhvesh. I mean, you have done excellent planning. You've at least identified your goals and you have started your SIPs. So I don't have the information right now as to what your SIPs, what the value is currently. But if you were to start today, for 5 years, if your CAGR, if your compounded annualized growth rate was say about 15% just for your children's education, where you need 20 lakhs down the line, at that, say about 15%, your SIP that you would need would be about 22,000. And if your CAGR goes down to about 12%, then your SIP just for your children's education would be around 24,000. So I think now that you have a realistic figure in mind, either you reduce the amount that you you need after 5 years, that is about 20 lakhs, bring it down to a realistic 9 or 10 lakhs, or you can increase your SIPs and focus only on your children's education currently. For your daughter's marriage after 10 years, if your CAGR is about 15%, then you need an SIP of about 7,000 rupees. So the ABSL tax relief 96 that you are already currently investing can be matched to that particular goal. For your retirement goal, which is, I presume, about 15 years away, and if you get a CAGR of about 15%, then your SIP is about 14,750 rupees. So you are getting, a clear idea of the amounts versus the time frames that you have mentioned. Now, for your retirement, I suggest, because you have a longish time period, you can invest in mid and small cap funds. So continue with HDFC mid cap opportunities, but you can also include Franklin India Smaller Companies Fund. And for your children's education, I would suggest large and multi-cap funds. So you can continue with HDFC equity and substitute the iPru multi-asset with iPru blue chip fund. That's a large cap oriented fund. So I think make a little change. Also make your planning a little more realistic, comparing your SIPs with the goals that you have in mind, figure-wise.
Okay. From Hubli, let's go to Jammu. Surinder is on the line. Good afternoon, Surinder. What's your query?
My query is, I have two ELSS schemes, funds, Franklin Tax Shield and HDFC Tax Saver Fund.
Okay.
I want to know whether I should continue these funds or I redeem it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sir, are you retired? What is your objective?
My objective is, it is only for my children.
Okay.
I am.
So how long have you been investing in these funds? Because we don't know what is the level of investment you have made, how much you have kind of gains you have made.
So I'll answer that. I'm assuming that you've completed your 3-year lock-in periods and you are able to either switch out or redeem. So typically now in the last 3-year periods, if I calculate the returns, current returns, the 3-year returns for HDFC Tax Saver is about 8.83% CAGR, and for Franklin India Tax Shield it's 8.43% CAGR. So if you need ATC benefits and also you need a wealth creation tool because you are saving for your children and your grandchildren, then you can consider redeeming your investments and reinvesting. So if you want to have a tax saver, then you need ELSS benefits of ATC. You can invest in DSP tax saver, ABSL tax relief 96, Axis long-term equity, or ICICI Prudential long-term equity, or Invesco India tax plan. But if you want to take a more balanced view, if your risk profile is slightly moderate, then you can go in for a balanced fund, which would have a 65% exposure towards equity and 35% exposure towards fixed income. And if you feel that your risk profile is a little more aggressive because your view is longer, your children will continue to save for a longer term, then you can consider 100% large cap funds or multi cap funds.
Right. Let's go to Ajay Kumar from Allahabad. He has mailed us this query. He is retired and has invested through lump sum 10 lakh in each ICICI Prudential Balance Advantage Fund, Reliance Equity Savings Fund and HDFC Hybrid Equity Fund. 7 lakhs in Aditya Birla Sun Life Equity Hybrid 95 Fund and 5 lakhs in Tata Hybrid Equity Fund and Franklin India Equity Hybrid. He is looking for an income of 20,000 per month. He is asking how is his portfolio, whether his objective will be met.
Sure. So let me also congratulate Mr. Ajay Kumar. I think you've done a great job in fund selection, and you bought the right instruments at this point of time. So I'm presuming that your retirement period will be about say 20 years. It could be longer or shorter.
Sorry to interrupt. He is already retired.
Yeah. So retirement period. Now
the duration.
The duration.
Okay.
Typically our lifespan is say up to 85 or 80.
Okay.
So
You're taking 20 years.
I take it. I'm just taking a ballpark figure of calculating that you are your lifespan will be say about 20 years, and we can of course calculate up and down, but just for the purpose of example. So in that case, you are withdrawing about 0.43% monthly, because you're withdrawing 20% of your lump sum, which is about 47 lakh rupees. So at that rate, if you compound it, if you're getting a compounded annualized growth rate of about 12% in the hybrid equity funds that you have selected, you will still be able to leave a corpus of about 1.48 crore for your successors. Your fund selection is quite appropriate, and you may continue with these funds. So at the rate of 20,000 rupees, you're doing quite fine. Your portfolio corpus is 47 crore rupees, and you are only withdrawing 0.43%. So you're perfectly on track.
Okay, perfect planning there, and good on track both for cash flows as well as wealth accumulation over a period of time. Let's go to Chandrasekhar, who is on the line from Hyderabad. Good afternoon, Chandrasekhar. What's your query?
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
I am an investor, 2 lakhs in previous lock-in period. Tata India tax saver.
Okay.
How much tax exemption will come?
Okay.
After 3 years, if I will withdraw, long-term tax to gain tax is applicable or not?
Okay, so let me clarify that question. He has invested 2 lakhs lump sum in Tata India Tax Saving Fund. He wants to know how much will be the tax benefit, number one. 3 years down the line, when he withdraws, will there be a capital gains tax?
Sure. So currently, rupees 1,50,000 is a deduction that you are eligible for under Section 80C. That is at the time of investment. Only 1,50,000 will be considered for your deduction. And when you withdraw it after 3 years, there will be a capital gains tax for the capital gain component at the rate of 10%. So that, I think, answers both your queries.
That answers your query, Chandrasekhar?
Can I please suggest other tax saver, 100% tax saver fund?
Sure. So you can look at DSP Tax Saver. You can look at Aditya Birla's Tax Relief 96. You can also look at ICICI Prudential Long Term Equity or Invesco India Tax Plan. So those are the couple of other options that you could consider besides Tata India Tax Savings Fund.
Right. The next query is also from Hyderabad. Balaji has mailed us this question. He is 43 and he is currently investing through SIP 10,000 in Franklin India Smaller Companies Fund, 7,000 in Motilal Oswal Midcap 35, 4,000 in Motilal Oswal Long Term Equity Fund, 3,000 in Mirai Asset Emerging Blue Chip Fund, and 2,000 each in Aditya Birla Sun Life Equity Advantage Fund and SBI Magnum Fund. He wants us to review his portfolio and advise any changes are required.
Sure. So the first thing that I would advise you to do is create a list of the possible goals that you would have and match your investments, current SIBs to those goals. It will just make it easier for you to manage them. So in the so I can give you an example that currently you're saving for your retirement and for your wealth creation. Since your tenure will be a little longer, you can continue with your Franklin India Smaller Companies Fund, SBI Magnum, ABSL Equity Advantage and Mirai Asset Emerging Blue Chip, which are all in the large and mid cap funds. But you can substitute the Motilal Oswal Long Term Equity with ABSL Tax Relief 96. So that's one change that I would recommend. Otherwise, your portfolio seems to be quite well structured.
Yeah, let me remind our viewers that almost all the advisors and fund managers who come to us, they very clearly advise that you should first set your objective. What do you want to do with your investment? Do you want to withdraw cash every year to meet cash flows? Do you want to meet your children's education, children's marriage, or for retirement? First set that objective before taking the vehicle. Keep the destination in mind, keep the objective in mind, and take products which will go and meet their requirement. With that, I think I am running out of time. My producer is asking me to wind up the show. Nisrin, thank you so much for taking all the queries of viewers. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of the Mutual Fund Guide. Stay tuned to BTVI for more news and updates coming up on the other side of the break.